This Week 16 Daily Fantasy Football edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is presented by MyBookie.ag. Just in time for the holidays, MyBookie is giving away free bets, free spins, and odd boosts every day from now until Christmas. You get to unwrap a new gambling gift. And, of course, a free deposit bonus up to $1,000 with the promo code SGP. Play, win, and get paid at MyBookie.ag. We're also brought to you by Ace Per Head. Ace is the leader in pay-per-head providers, and they make it super easy to start your own sportsbook. Plus, Ace is offering up to 6 weeks free over at aceperhead.com/SGP. That's aceperhead.com/SGP. We're also brought to you by Healthy Mail. Go to healthymail.com to save time and avoid the embarrassment of going to the doctor to get ED drugs like Viagra or Cialis. Use the promo code SGP to get 20 pills for $49. Requests for medication are not guaranteed. Must be approved by U.S. licensed physician. Healthymail.com, promo SGP. Finally, we're also brought to you by Manscaped. Manscaped is #1 in men's below-the-belt grooming. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code SGP at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use the code SGP. Finally, don't forget to sign up for the SGPN Bowl Challenge. Free to enter, and you can win thousands of dollars simply by picking bowl games against the spread. Sign up today at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bowl. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bowl. Welcome, everyone, to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer.
Heyo, Sean.
Heyo, Ryan.
How you feeling, buddy?
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling. I'm suffering from a ton of inflammation from last night. We had a little holiday dinner for the SGPN brass, and super inflamed for my cowboy ribeye. Just kidding, Ryan. I feel amazing. It was
Sean,
a great meal at the Arroyo Chop House. And breaking news. We have to, let's get out the shovels. Do we say any thoughts, any prayers, any kind words? Rest in peace, Soy Boy. Ryan, take us there, your mindset, your decision to transition into a meat lover. What was going through your head last night?
I was at a steakhouse. It's the holiday season.
Oh, my God!
And the majority of my calories are still coming from plants.
Okay.
There's not much to it. I don't know why this is a story.
Are you planning on, like, tomorrow?
Well, you know what?
Are you eating meat tomorrow?
I'm falling off the wagon. Let's get
Wow. Ryan is cracking a White Claw. You can go to youtube.com/sportsgamblingpodcast to watch Ryan sip on a delicious lime
wow.
White Claw.
I see why all the white folk like this so much.
It is pretty solid. I'm usually a whiskey guy, Jameson, through and through. But White Claw is not bad. I appreciate the low calorie.
I feel like our
non-bloated.
demographic is a big overlap here. So if the White Claw people are listening.
Yeah. There's probably some White Claw heads in the crowd here.
You know, we don't declare what the Colby six-pack is of. Could certainly be this Colby.
It may be Colby six-pack is of White Claw. Colby a no-show at the holiday party. He was ill, so
imagine how pissed off Colby would be.
We'll see. I bet if we offer him a White Claw tomorrow for the College Bowl Spectacular Part 1.
Is that a poll question? Will Colby drink a White Claw?
I definitely think Colby will drink a White Claw, Ryan. And perfect transition. Talking about college football, talking about the database, we were proud to announce the SGPN Bowl Challenge. Pretty easy. I'm going to walk you through it. First off, free to enter, like everything we do here. Free content, free picks, free podcasts, free posts, and free cash up for grabs. All you got to do, pick every college game against the spread. One pick will be worth 3 points. A money ball pick, if you will. $1,000 to first place, $500 to second, $100 to third. But get this, the prize doubles if you're also hosting your own college bowl pool on Play Palto. So you go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bowl, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bowl, sign up today, get in, and then start your own pool so you have a chance to double your prize. You don't want to be the guy who gets first place You could be sitting on $2,000 instead, a measly $1,000. Either way, great deal. And again, completely free.
Going through the sign-up process right now, Sean. What should my entry name be?
R.I.P. Soy Boy.
Mostly Soy Boy?
Primarily Soy Boy. Most of them, 80% Soy Boy. Ryan, we've had a lot of people send us the. There's recently in the NBA. There was the boat-related suspension. Dion Waiters. He was not only he's seemingly topped him being out for THC overdose when he had too many gummies. Now suspended due to Instagram boat photo while he was supposedly out sick. The ultimate boat trip.
All right, and this is right up my alley. This is in my wheelhouse. First, bro, act like you've been there before when you're on the edibles. Second,
Yes.
Don't post a lot of pictures to Instagram. I got both those things locked down.
Yeah.
Soy Boy can do it, Dion.
Yeah, keep
What's really wrong with
your
Dion
social
Waiters?
media close to the vest, right?
Because really, this just reeks of a cover for something else.
What do you mean? I don't. It's not a cover for Ryan. You're a little. Maybe you need to lay off the edibles. I think you're a little paranoid. I think he's just a guy who doesn't give a shit about playing basketball for the Heat.
How big is he?
He's tall enough.
How much weed would it take for a guy that big?
I mean, if you're not a guy who has like a tolerance.
All right, he's 6'4". He's moderately thick, which means he's what, 220?
Probably. Yeah, I mean, you got to be at least 220.
And you play in the NBA, like you got the tolerance, I assume.
No, I would not assume that because he ate a bunch of weed and couldn't play anymore.
So what's the story with the boat trip?
He went on a boat and he took a photo of himself on a boat for Instagram when he was supposed to be out due to illness. And it's the classic, you get busted on your day off or you call out sick. You can't be posted on social media. Somehow Dion Waiters doesn't think anyone follows him on Instagram. Very, very weird.
Must have been his social media manager.
All right, Ryan, lot to get to. We're gonna, of course,
what else is there to get to?
We're of course are going to be giving out our week 16 DFS fantasy football lineups. I'm hot off the press with my Greg Ward prediction.
I thought you were going to break down how your jersey change led to the good fortune of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Well, I did. I was rocking the Cunningham jersey in the first half, then switched back to the traditional black Carson Wentz to help lead them to victory. Today, for the DFS podcast, I'm rocking the sweet throwback Michael Vick jersey in honor of Michael Vick being a class act, shouting out Lamar Jackson when he broke Mike Vick's rushing record. I am shouting out Mike Vick, class act. It's tough to imagine Mike Vick making any mistakes in his life. He's just a great individual, top to bottom, very talented. So shout out to Mike Vick.
Not sure who you're trolling there.
I actually purchased this jersey after he threw for 5 touchdowns against the Washington Redskins on Monday Night Football. An epic fantasy performance. So I'm hoping he has a little bit of mojo left in this jersey for an amazing DFS lineup. But Ryan, of course, more has come out. Spygate 2.0.
Oh, yes.
And
It's a baby fucking wheel, man.
It's really fun to bust the Patriots' chops. So we've pulled the audio of the tape of the guy, basically the Bengal security reviewing the tape.
So when I first watched this, I was like, this is fake. Like, just to preface, I thought it was someone voicing over, I had no idea it was the real video. Had absolutely no idea. And then I watched it like 3 more times, and I'm like, this can't be right. And what you're gonna hear is the most hilariously stereotypical chowderhead accent. That you can't write this shit. All right, I'm playing it, Sean.
It's a baby fucking wheel, man.
The piece you're filming on your advanced scout?
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on, guys. I don't see the advanced scout in this footage.
No, it's not. We were trying to get some field perspective. My bad.
Let's make the field.
Believe that. That's
why you would think you could take that.
I didn't know. I didn't know. But I can delete this right here for you.
I mean, okay, hypothetically, the Patriots weren't doing doing anything nefarious.
I've had enough of this persecution of the New England Patriots and Robert Kraft.
We are being railroaded from left and from right, and it is unforgivable. We are completely innocent of all the charges, Senator.
Yeah. You drove over the chick. You knocked the chick into the lake or whatever
Yeah.
happened. All right, like
No,
all parties.
He drove the car to the lake and just was like,
left the chick there.
I got to swim out of here and type up my own police report. Nothing to see here.
I got a bed full of chicks to plow.
He sounds like a guy who is insanely guilty, right? And maybe he realizes, I'm from the Patriots' point of view. They've admitted he broke the rules now.
I mean, I can tell you, as a young adolescent, when I got busted red-handed stealing something from the local convenience shop, the first thing I said was, "I'll put it back."
I can delete this right here for you.
That is someone who's gotten busted. I can put this
Wait,
back.
one more time.
I can delete this right here for you.
Oh, that.
Oh, shit.
I mean, I've watched the tape. There's really, and again, they probably radio the signals in. I get it, but Jesus fucking Christ, you have to have some common sense. And why have the Patriots not fired this guy, released who he is, and totally distanced themselves? That to me is again probably another kind of red flag. The guy certainly sounds guilty, and maybe he was completely innocent. And
Oh no, Sean, he just goes by the policy violator.
and again,
That's the old policy violator. No, that's
well,
just-
they call him that because he violated the policy of losing too much weight. What? All right, guys. Also, if you're taking the shots, and this is, we're talking technical. I'm a TV writer, TV producer, Ryan.
No, but-
Taking you behind the curtain. If you're shooting some B-roll of the said silent, that's really going to be in a nice shot. You're going to put it on a Steadicam or a tripod. That is a handheld shot. You hold you do a handheld shot for,
You know what that
keeping
shot
things close to the vest.
You know what that shot looks like? When you're seeing some crazy shit go down, but you don't want them to see you recording it,
Yes.
so you pretend like you're taking a phone call, but
Exactly.
you're really just recording. That's exactly what it looked like. They were literally zoomed in on the bench. Come on, guys.
Come on.
We didn't know. We were trying to get some
I can delete that for you right now.
perspective.
We got to get our shit going mentally.
PS. You were going for perspective.
Yeah, the perspective of what plays are the Bengals going to call next
But
week.
isn't that how you know they cheat? Because they were cheating against the Bengals. Like, they were cheating to prepare for the Bengals.
I thought about this today. Josh Gordon has been suspended indefinitely. Failed another drug test, and people are like, "You're in the NFL. Can you just not stop doing drugs?" Josh Gordon is addicted to drugs in the same way that Bill Belichick is addicted to cheating. You really think he's going to risk it all just for one hit of weed? Yes, because he's an addict. You really think Belichick's going to risk it all just for one play call? Yes, because he's an addict. He's addicted to cheating. That is his sweet, sweet ganja.
We could have the debate about the addiction qualities of marijuana, Sean,
Wow.
all you want, but I agree with you.
And it's probably not weed. But regardless, whatever his poison is, he's clearly hooked in the same way that Belichick is hooked on that sweet, sweet cheating.
But it is like if you dive a layer deeper too, and I know there's lots of people who are like, nah, the media hates the Patriots. Shut the fuck up.
Hey, it's just they've just been accidentally accused of cheating. 5 times.
What better way to really prepare yourself for a team but figure out how their communication works, right? The first thing you do in any sort of wartime, you want to break the code. The second you break the code, you can understand everything else.
Yeah, that's how we won World War II.
So now, while this is like the second and a half time they've been busted doing something where they're recording something that wasn't necessarily people playing a game.
Why is the Bengals sideline from a TV producer point of view? There is nothing compelling that would actually make it into the cut. The guy should be fired just for filming boring things.
It's like D-roll. He. It's just one of those things. Like the next story we're going to find out is that all of a sudden a bunch of their archives got all deleted
Yeah.
because it's
The missing tapes.
I can delete this right here for you.
I do find it interesting. Like, outside of being a Patriots fan, what is your angle to be annoyed that the media is covering another case of the Patriots cheating? What is that angle? Because it has been more than just Patriots fans. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Doesn't make any sense.
It's like you said, greatness can overlap with doing
they don't have to be mutually
devious things.
exclusive. Ryan, speaking of greatness, we have one of the greatest presenting sponsors of all time, and that is MyBookie.ag, the official online sportsbook of the Sports Gambling Podcast. Not a great weekend for the old Green Star on MyBookie.ag. However, you know what was great? The free bets. I hit my free UFC bet.
Nice.
Cash that.
I hit my Packers bet.
There you go. And they got this 12 days of giveaways going. Tons every day. December 17th, receive a free $10 casino chip to be used on our blackjack games.
Whoa.
Wow, that is just... I'm claiming this right away, Ryan, because, again, it's fucking free. Is there a rollover bonus with a free blackjack hand? Sure, but who cares?
Who cares?
You're a DJ. You're in there anyway. You're mixing it up. And again, MyBookie.ag. You deposit with cryptocurrency. You get paid in cryptocurrency. You make life easy on yourself. And you do it over at MyBookie.ag. First time deposit. Bonus bets up to $1,000. Play when you get paid at MyBookie.ag. Let's get to it, Ryan. Let's talk a little daily fantasy football. And again, shout out to everyone. And I mean everyone.
Oh, wait a second. What are we shouting out for, Sean?
The listeners.
What about?
Well, I'm getting to that, Ryan.
Tell me more.
Generally, you set things up and then pay them off.
Ah, gotcha. Okay, I'm on board.
Okay. Anyway.
Just trying to liven the show up, Sean.
All right. Appreciate it. It's that White Claw giving you an edge, Ryan.
It's the meat. It's all the inflammation. I got to be honest. You know what
Your
I had?
brain's inflamed.
You know what I was doing at 4:30 a.m., Sean? Annoyingly awake, taking a shit.
Yeah.
All those toxins in my body, they just had to get out.
Well,
had some lentils tonight for dinner. Felt much better.
Okay, balance it out.
Yeah.
Got back to your core. Shout out to everyone that sent me the news. Breaking news.
Oh, no. Don't
Will
do it.
Grier has been named starter of the Carolina Panthers. The
Hello.
over 1.5 Will Grier starts looks to be in the bank.
Oh, what? Don't jinx it, Sean.
I know, possibly. And unfortunately, Eli Manning got his fucking corny ass back to 500. And now they're saying now miraculously Daniel Jones' ankle is healed. I really hope they let Eli start again against the Redskins, because that Redskins team is scrappy. And I don't think that's a...
What are you basing this on?
What?
Your crappy Eagles struggling to defeat them?
They hung with the Packers. They won a
5
couple
foot nothing,
games.
100 nothing.
No, they're not horrible. I mean,
Anyway.
We'll see. Again, tearful goodbyes. He got the game ball. How many times? It's like, how many times can we just shoot Old Yeller before it just gets annoying?
As you're wearing a
is
Michael Vick jersey, you want to shoot old Yeller.
No, I don't want to.
Look
Ryan,
at you.
The killing Old Yeller was an act of compassion. If you ever had to put a dog down, it's a sad, sad thing. But sometimes when a dog is so wounded and his body is so riddled with cancer, you are doing a disfavor
Jesus,
to
dude.
the animal. Well, you want to talk real? If the
People are tuning in to listen to some fantasy football picks, and you're talking about shooting dogs. That's all. I'm just pointing that out.
I'm just pointing out Old Yeller was put out of its misery, much like we should do the same thing with Eli Manning. We should euthanize Eli Manning is what I'm getting at. Kramer, who is your starting quarterback this week?
Can I ask you a question, Sean?
Yeah.
The New York Giants, their secondary is still really trash, right? You would agree with
True.
this? Why is Dwayne Haskins only 4,700? I can't tell. I don't know if I've ever played a quarterback this cheap. Why is he only 4,700 against this Giants secondary at home?
Well, now you just made fun of me for saying Dwayne is kind of scrappy, but I think there's something to it. He's only $4,700.
Wait, did we both pick Dwayne Haskins?
No, of course I didn't. But I mean, he's a great play at $4,700.
Now, the smart play is probably go Russell Wilson this week, but I'm going for it. The Giants got that win. Now they realize like shit. Now we're all like in this logjam for
Need
not
to separate themselves.
Yeah, I'm Dwayne Haskins 4,700. This is a total GPP play, Sean.
I'm keeping an eye on Daniel Jones' ankle, and they won't say from Giants.com, Eli delivers unforgettable game. Giants await Daniel Jones clearance. Daniel Jones or Eli Manning, we're back to wondering who will start at quarterback. Please name him the starter. Please. It's a high ankle sprain. Have the Giants learned nothing about high ankle sprains? Give me one more shot to get the old guy under 500. All right. You know who I went with, Ryan?
Oh, no.
The comeback kid. You stepped out of the gamble cave, Ryan, and you missed the 63-mile-per-hour fastball that Carson Wentz darted into the corner of the end zone to Miles Sanders en route to a amazing performance once again. 900 yards, 9 touchdowns, 1 interception in the past 3 games. That streak will continue. Amazing performance, especially in the second half, in the fourth quarter, in overtime. Captain Clutch himself, Carson Wentz, only $5,800. Lock it up.
All right, Sean. Can you give me a little Escalade, please?
Okay. I will queue up that Escalade. Ryan, pulling it right up now.
I can delete this right here for you.
Oh, sorry. I thought you wanted the other.
Such a great job. What did we see last week from Mr. Saquon Barkley?
Ooh, Saquon. He's back.
Season well out of reach. Time to make those numbers respectable. Danny Dimes comes back. Although I will say, Barkley's had his best games with Eli under center. I'm 8,300. This is the cheapest you'll ever get to play Barkley, and it's against this Washington Redskins team that Miles Sanders just
it's weird
destroyed.
because the Redskins coming into that game, they one of their strengths was run defense. Now, like, they were really bad in the second half in the secondary, but I was surprised at how well Miles Sanders played.
I think if you look at the way the run defense has been very difficult to shred through the middle, but they've definitely been exploitable to the edge, and that's kind of how the Eagles beat them, getting the ball out wide to Sanders. And
they did
Boston
a lot of third down draw plays to Sanders, which I was surprised.
Anyway, don't have to sell Saquon, but Saquon Barkley's the play here.
Saquon Barkley. This guy, he's coming off a pretty big game. Normally, you would think to maybe fade him, but connecting to Saquon Barkley, he had a big game against this Miami defense, and I think Joe Mixon might be also in the running for a big game in Miami. Maybe he doesn't show up in the heat, but this guy, he's running hard late in the season, making up for lost time. Give me Joe Mixon, 6,600 at the Dolphins this week.
I'll just continue on with him because he's my second guy.
Yeah.
If you combine his carries and targets over the last 2 weeks, Sean, 55. 55 touch and receptions and carries. He's at 54. 54 touches of the football. And the price has not caught up. He's back to being a workhorse. He's up to 6,600, which is probably the highest he's been since early in the season, but well worth it. They're finally back to getting him the ball, and I think what we're seeing now is what people expected all year. So if you manage to survive this season, Joe Mixon is probably carrying you to the championship. If not, it's probably Kenyon Drake.
I'm in the fantasy football playoffs in our kind of hometown.
Congratulations,
championship. Thanks again to Miles Sanders and Carson Wentz, kind of putting the team on the back.
Yeah.
And you had advised me to put in Joe Mixon over Jarvis Landry. I did not listen to you.
Didn't matter.
I like the PPR matchup against that Arizona defense, but it turned out not to matter. Jarvis Landry yelling at his coach. Looks like he wanted to beat the shit out of Freddie Kitchens. Apparently he was going to the Arizona sideline and saying, like, sign me. Never a good sign.
I saw this thing about how Freddie Kitchens isn't like on a hot seat or anything.
What?
Oh, hot.
Right?
Hot.
This guy, he's been carrying me in some season-long fantasy, and he kind of a shitty game, but the entire team pretty shitty.
San Diego Superchargers, charge!
Playing in back-to-back weeks. Give me Austin Eckler, $6,100, Chargers at home against the Raiders.
You love that guy.
We got to get our shit going mentally.
I really like him. I think he's better than Melvin Gordon. Even though he had a pretty down game, he still had 7 targets, 5 catches for 62 yards. He only had 19 rushing yards and 7 carries, didn't have a touchdown. Feels like a huge bounce-back game for Austin Eckler. I know the Chargers, will they get up for this game? They're coming off a 7-turnover game, which is insane. It was really tough to watch that with Justin Decker. Shout out to Justin Decker, who published the unluckiest teams of the past decade. 2 separate Chargers teams made the list, and it's been popping off over on the Chargers subreddit. But Austin Eckler at home against the Raiders. I think the Chargers will get up for this game, but again, tough to tell with this Chargers team. But I think the 2 fumbles from Melvin Gordon certainly has to play a factor in the game plan there, and they should be giving the ball to Eckler more in general.
Yeah, he's a fun back. I mean, he's a restricted free agent after this year, but he's certainly an intriguing running back.
Well, especially the way the NFL has played today.
He's the kind of guy that like goes to the Patriots and excels even further than Sean.
Yes, Brian. Before you,
oh my goodness,
before you talk about your receivers, let's talk about ace per head. That's right. Thinking of starting your own sports book? Would have been a good time to be taking old Sean Green, stacking the money green, losing the money green this week. Why not be my bookie? Of course, I already have a bookie, but maybe you've thought of becoming your own bookie. It's pretty easy. All you got to do is go to aceperhead.com/SGP, aceperhead.com/SGP. They'll set you up, man. An all-inclusive professional betting site. All the lines updated to the second. Wagers graded immediately. Top-notch customer support. I'm a big customer support guy.
Yes, you are.
Love me some great customer service, and you can find it over at Ace Per Head. Plus, amazing mobile gaming experience and live betting for your customers. You want to give them as many opportunities as they can to get down on that action. And again, if you sign up through our link, they're offering up to 6 weeks free. This can't be right. It's too good of a deal. aceperhead.com/SGP, aceperhead.com/SGP.
Well done, Sean.
Thank you.
For my first wide receiver, we gotta roll the stack out there. And while he only had 5 targets, he caught all 5 of those. 1 of those for a touchdown. Seems like he's a big play guy for this Washington Redskins team. So we're gonna go Terry McLaurin. They did go to college together, Sean.
Yeah,
it doesn't appear like they have a ton of chemistry, but they did go to college together. So, again, 6,200 feels a little bit like I'm overpaying, but this Giants secondary is dog shit. Lots to exploit there.
Ryan, I'm also all in. Janoris Jenkins, $6,200. There's no longer the Janoris Jenkins on the Giants roster, dropping R-bombs left and right.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing he's gone.
Okay. Do you think the team rallied around his release?
I mean, he didn't want to be there. No. I don't want guys there that don't want to be there, Sean.
Well, are you applying that to Pat Shurmur? Because that is a guy that sounds like he doesn't want to be there.
Sean, is Greg Ward going to get any help this week?
What do you mean by that?
Are any of the wide receivers going to suit up?
I hope not, because I have Greg Ward later on. Well, I'll save it, Brian.
Well, I'm throwing him out there right now. So Greg Ward's my next guy. Again, if I'm getting 9 targets again, I'm playing this guy. He's way
19
up.
points.
Way
19.1.
$1,200 more than he was last week.
He shot up, but I still think at $4,200, he's going to be the number 1 receiver. If I'm the Cowboys, you bracket Ertz, and you force Carson Wentz to find other guys like Greg Ward. Greg Ward, my prediction, will be involved in the trick play, former Houston quarterback, as you've heard a million times. Look for a potential throwing touchdown for Greg
Ooh,
Ward.
I like this kind of
Calling
prediction.
my shot.
Love
Ryan.
this kind of...
So yes, I'm also, of course. I mean, you maybe you were cheating and looking at my lineup, but I'm rounding out the stack. Give me Greg Ward. Great chemistry. The guy,
he's stack worthy.
the guy is just catching the ball, Ryan. It's really that simple. Give me Greg Ward.
All righty then. Yeah, for my next guy, I went big. I kind of went in reverse order. Julio Jones, Jacksonville.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Do we have the same fucking lineup?
Yes. I also have Julio Jones at home. The Jacksonville defense is horrible. How do you not play Julio Jones even though you're paying $8,000?
Wow.
He's coming off a 2-touchdown game, touchdown regression. But meanwhile, this Atlanta team, scrappy. Jags coming off a win somehow in Oakland.
Long. Cox.
Nice. So yeah, we both like Julio. We have the exact same team almost. This is remarkable. I just have. I'm sure we have the same tight end as well.
I don't know. I bet you we don't have the same tight end, Ryan. You know what? I'm gonna mix up.
Whoa,
Remix. Maybe a remix, but this is becoming a staple of the Sports Gambling Podcast. They love all the action they've been getting from you guys. #DGens only, because you're probably getting a ton of action because you're no longer having horrible, disgusting bushes because you're trimming them up. Thanks to Manscaped.com. Get rid of those gross. It's the holidays. What better treat to your partner? See how progressive I am, Ryan? What better treat to your partner? Regardless of whatever you're getting involved in, people like a clean playing field. You know, when you're betting a total over and under, you get on turf, the total goes up, and that same thing applies to your action. You get rid of the long grass, scoring goes up. That is possibly the greatest copy ever written. I improvised it myself, thanks to all the energy I have from Manscaped.com. It's rare to talk about a lawnmower in December, but the Lawnmower 2.0 from Manscaped is a must ride. It's really just that simple, right? You're gonna be hanging around, getting you want a nice gal to jingle your bells, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Ryan, you like a little if you're ever a fan of home improvement, you know what we like on the Sports Gambling Podcast? More power. Lawnmower 2.0 now trims at 6,000 strokes per minute. Up from 4,000 per minute. You thought the Lawnmower 1.0 had a lot of horsepower. 6,000 strokes per minute. That sounds like me after I've trimmed down thanks to the Lawnmower 2.0. I'm up to 6,000. No, it's probably 5 strokes, and then I'm calling it a night. Because, hey, I showed up. I made a good presentation. That's all you need. And again, Manscaped.com. You can get 20% off and free shipping. All you got to do is use that promo code SGP. They actually have this written down in the promo, and this is the greatest copy I've ever seen. Clean up your nuts and make Santa proud this year. Oh, man. Santa couldn't be prouder, especially if you're...
What Santa are they talking?
Santa's really proud of your unshaved sack, and he knows he's got a giant sack, delivering all those toys to good little boys who trim their pubes. Thanks to Manscaped. Use that promo code SGP.
Wow, Sean.
I'm in a giving spirit. I'm just giving away
For my
great
tight
reads.
end, I'm going back to the Arizona Cardinal fade.
Wow. Okay. Who do you got?
I wanted a piece of Seattle this week.
Yeah.
And while it's maybe not the best spot, it's just Arizona. Yeah, it's one thing to beat the crap out of the hapless Browns, but now they're taking on a real offense and a tight end that his involvement has been limited. I think it's going to be a big game for him. He's coming off a low 3-target, 3-reception game for him. So look for a little bit bounce back spot. Jacob Hollister, 4,200. Fade the Cardinals.
Fade the Cardinals, Ryan. Not a bad trend to go back to. I'm going to go back to basics here. Fade the Detroit Lions, who have just looked pretty dog shit. Give me Noah Fant. Clearly, him and Locke have some chemistry. The entire Denver Broncos offense looked pretty shitty on the road there in Kansas City. They couldn't adapt to the weather, even though they're fucking from Colorado.
Yeah.
Couldn't cover a giant 10-point spread. But Noah Fant, he had a huge game against the Texans, and I think he could have a pretty big game at home against the Detroit Lions. And you saw Kyle Rudolph, I think, had a pretty good game against them a couple weeks ago. I think a similar thing could happen for Noah Fant. And at $3,700, this feels like a pretty good price.
Yeah, he's certainly been. He's looking like a guy who might be a thing.
Yeah,
he looks pretty solid.
And Cortland Sutton is kind of...
He's amazing. I mean,
he's a legit, like, he's going to be probably like a top 5 fantasy receiver next year, almost regardless of what Locke ends up doing. But, I mean, Noah Fant still seems kind of like the safety blanket. I know he didn't have a great game against Kansas City, but I think they're going to scheme up some easy passes for him this week at home, and I think Noah Fant's going to be a part of that.
So this is a little bit dependent on injury news. DJ Chark, I can't imagine they're going to rush him back. It's the end of the season. He's like a promising young receiver. So I'm basing this on the fact that he won't play. And I'm going to go Chris Conley because last week when he didn't play, Chris Conley got 8 targets. And for $4,300, 8 targets, good value.
Easy enough.
Against Atlanta too, I should point out.
And you're probably wondering how have we not mentioned the Tampa Bay Bucks?
No,
because they're playing on Saturday. So we're breaking down the Sunday DFS slate, but certainly
I will say I'm excited to do a Bucks game for the showdown format.
Yeah,
because there's so many different potential.
Well,
options
and what do you do? Right. I mean, I think in our league, in our season-long fantasy league, there are ad drops in the playoffs. So I put in a waiver claim for Perriman as soon as it was clear that Godwin was out. I have Godwin and Evans who helped me get to the finals, but now they're both out. I do have, like I said, I have Jarvis Landry and Joe Mixon to kind of fill in, but
it's great that you're going to get there on the back of Jameis Winston's receivers.
Oh man, it's just been such a wild season for the Bucs. Wouldn't have it any other way. This guy that I chose for $6,800 from the Miami Dolphins, Devontae Parker. They're at home. He's coming off a 2-touchdown game, but I mean, Fitzdog just loves chucking it up to him. This Bengals defense, I think, on the road, how hard are they going to be playing? Miami clearly, I mean, they look like shit against the Giants, but I don't think that was from lack of trying and lack of Fitz chucking up deep balls or just chucking the ball up in general to Parker. He had 4 catches, 2 of which were touchdowns. I don't see what's not to like at home against this Bengals defense.
Yeah. All right, Sean, defense time. Question for you.
Yes.
Do you take the Los Angeles Chargers, who are hosting the Oakland Raiders? Probably a lot of Raiders fans.
San Diego Superchargers, charge!
Oh, it could be a massive letdown spot. Last game in the Coliseum, they blew it. They're losers.
Yeah.
I have a feeling this might rejuvenate them. Or do you play the Denver Bronco defense against David Blow? Blow.
So it's Raiders or
Broncos. To me,
for defense.
Yeah.
I think
no. Chargers or Broncos.
Chargers. Yeah.
Don't the Broncos just murder this Blow kid?
Yeah, it's a non-conference road game, and your coach might likely be fired. Blow is really blows. I think you go Denver.
Also, I didn't throw him in a lineup, but we should alert people that isn't Kerryon Johnson back?
Yeah, and I didn't know how to play that.
He's 4,900. It's one of those things. If he's a starter, do you play him? I don't know. Maybe not.
I don't know.
Matchup isn't great.
That's still too high for this Lions team on the road, and they're looking to next year. So even if they bring him back, how many carries are you going to give that guy?
I agree. Worth calling out because he's potential heavy workload. So
and Scarborough has kind of been an interesting play DFS too.
Cool. So we're done? You going to tell me who your defense is?
Ryan, my defense.
Oh, God.
They've had some bad performances, but give me the Philadelphia Eagles. $2,500 at home, backs against the wall, must-win game. They need to feel the pressure, and I think they will. Give me the Philadelphia Eagles. They're due for they haven't had a turnover past 2 games. They're due for a turnover. They're due for well, no, take that back because they did get a defensive touchdown last play of the game for a miraculous cover. But I think they're due for a turnover during the regular part of the game. So that I think is something worth something worth talking about. Ryan.
So Sean, 1 week to go.
Yes. Before we talk about that, Ryan, because we'll talk FFPC. Maybe give out some guys you potentially like in DraftKings for Saturday. Before we get to that, let's talk about Healthy Male. Just about every man over the age of 25 has had some sort of ED issue. For some, hey, it's a little bit more than occasional. Maybe you don't, maybe you don't got that, you don't have the lead in your pencil. It's not, hey, it's no big deal. They got drugs for that. ED drugs like Viagra, Cialis, Healthy Male to hook you up. HealthyMale.com. They've been around for a long time. They've been helping men over 20 years. Wow. Ahead of the curve. Prescribed almost 3 million prescriptions online. And honestly, that's the way you do it. You know, you don't want to have some awkward in-conference room conversation. Our generation, if you want to have a tough conversation, you want to do it over the phone, over Skype. You don't want to go to your local gas station, buy some, Spanish Fly or whatever to try to get your mojo back. It's a medical condition, nothing to be ashamed of. Unlike most companies online, no subscription, you're not hooked in. HealthyMale.com will only ship you pills when you order them. And Healthy Male. There's a lot of Healthy Males listening. If you want to be healthier, go to HealthyMale.com. Use the promo code SGP. Get 20 pills for $49. HealthyMale.com. Promo code SGP. Request for medication are not guaranteed. Must be approved by a U.S. licensed physician. Or you can give them a call. 1-877-4-VIAGRA. Use that code SGP. Play, win, get paid, and get laid over at HealthyMale.com.
Nice.
All right, Kramer,
work,
let's break down some what's going on in your FFPC because you're claiming you're going to make a run at 500,000.
Oh, well, I may have jinxed it a little bit. What I was going to throw out first is I'm in a best ball league also through the FFPC, and this is a league that I drafted Andrew Luck in. It's a $250 entry league. Drafted Andrew Luck. I'm in second place with a chance to take it down still. In spite of me drafting Andrew Luck. So unlike the Colts, I was able to overcome that. Sean, the team that you speak of that was in contention, not a complete dud, but it was a high-scoring weekend, so it was a tough weekend to only put up 150. And listen, wish me luck. I'm in 143rd place. The top 100 get paid in some sort. So
okay.
I need to make up a 9-point gap to get into the money. So
How's the slot?
So you said gap, and
I would say realistically, ceiling is maybe I'm probably still within range of being able to do a 10K cash. So that's not bad.
That's not bad at all, Ryan. No.
And I have guys like Jacob Hollister going against Arizona.
Ooh.
Zach Ertz going against the Cowboys.
Love it. All right, so let's throw out a couple guys we maybe like for the Saturday slate. Houston versus Bucks, Buffalo, New England, Rams, San Francisco.
I mean, Sean, this is actually a pretty fun. I found when I was making this lineup, I found it to be more enjoyable than when I made my other lineup.
Sometimes, yeah, when you have too many decisions, it becomes a little difficult.
I mean, you just have, first of all, you have Houston versus Tampa Bay, which, what time is that game, Sean?
That's the early 10 a.m. West Coast kick. What
a great way to spend the morning.
I know he had a huge game, and you think there's regression, but give me Perriman again. Like, why not? Brashad Perriman. He's going to be the number one receiver. I mean, we've seen we've seen what Jameis does, and he was kind of liking him even before that game. That's why I threw it out on the Periscope. I'm not going to give myself full credit because I didn't have him in my lineup like an asshole. But I did float him out there when we were doing the Periscope as a possible solid option.
So who do you like as a tight end? Because that was the one area where I was like, shit, do I have to spend up here? Do you just spend up and grab Higbee? And because he's been 14 targets last week, 11 the week before that. Is that the move? Even against that San Francisco team?
Yeah, or, I mean.
Is Everett going to be back?
That I don't know off the top of my head. And O.J. Howard at 4,000, bit of a boomer bust. I mean, maybe Cameron. You know what? Here's what I would say. I would go Cameron Brate at $3,700. He's still got 7 targets, and I think he's going to eat up more of the target share than O.J. Howard. That's my prediction, and he's only 3,700. Or no, 3,500. Cole Beasley. Always like Cole Beasley going up against that New England team. I think he had 6 targets, only 1 catch. I think that kind of corrects itself a little bit. They're going to give, the Bills did win, but I think you want to give Josh Allen some easier throws, and I think getting Cole Beasley involved is a part of it.
Do you want to know what I did? I made a lineup, Sean.
Sure.
And I'll rattle it off real quick just because it was a real fun lineup to make.
Oh, my God.
So just to start, because the running backs I take Singletary and Mozart because I don't think there's a ton of options there. Not a bad group to have. Not the best matchup for Buffalo.
What are you doing at QB? Jameis?
Jameis is my quarterback. I then have Perryman and Howard, one receiver and tight end, and then I also have Will Fuller.
I go Brate, but
I have Will Fuller, Hopkins, and Kenny Stills.
Wow. So you're just loading up on that game.
I'm just loading up on that
game. It
does
feel like it could be one of those insane ones.
And just grab the receiver. The receiver matchup for Tampa Bay is a good one. Then I just went Bucs defense because who gives it? They're the cheapest, and Watson gets sacked so at a minimum there's a bit of a floor there. I have $400 extra, so I can actually upgrade to the Rams defense. And I thought about it because we watched that San Francisco game last week, and while it was an obvious letdown spot, they looked like shit.
And their defense has looked kind of bad. I mean, they look bad against the Falcons, and then they look bad against the Saints.
I'm going to play the Rams.
And they've had a lot of injuries.
I'm going to play the Rams. So anyway, I thought, for my money, even though there's only 3 games, it was much more fun to make that Saturday lineup. It's just
I think 3 games. I really like putting together a Thanksgiving lineup. I think 3 games is the perfect number.
Yeah.
1 game is kind of annoying. 2 is like, you want one more option. 3 is kind of the sweet spot where you're not overwhelmed by the slate, but also have enough.
It's part of what makes NBA playoffs DFS great because there'll be 3 games in a night. Just enough diversity, Sean.
Exactly.
Because we love diversity here at the Sports Gambling.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
Again, make sure you sign up for the College Football Bowl Challenge, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bowl. And when you do that, start your own college bowl. I mean, Play Balto, great.
Pool is what you were trying to
pool.
say.
I kept saying pool.
You love that poll.
Play Balto, ideal
Sean's
for setting
got poll
up.
on the mind right now.
Exactly. Ideal to run your office football pools.
Professional talk time.
March Madness pools. And again, if you sign up and if you have an active pool running, when you win the prize, your prize doubles. Like what? Are you really going to want to kind of sit on the sidelines and risk winning and not? I couldn't do it. I wouldn't, as a guy who likes to let it ride, Ryan, I couldn't live with that on my conscience. But either way, make sure you sign up, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/bowl. And of course, it's free.
Of course.
Because that's the way we do things on the sportsgamblingpodcast.com. We reward you with free contests, free picks, free podcasts, free posts. And all you got to do, throw us a free review. It's pretty easy. Do it over on iTunes. For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green, and he is Ryan.
Almost Merry Christmas, Sean.
Kramer, let it ride.